How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another box to box, and it's a big one. It's another big one. This Sunday midday we're at Stamford Bridge. It's Chelsea away. It's a big six fixture, and I brought no other than my big six brother Matisse. You're telling me, Matisse?
I'm good.
You seem a bit nervous. I don't know, usually you're here chest out when we're talking about this game, and usually you're confident talking about league titles and all of this.
Yeah.
But what's changed?
I mean, the circumstances are slightly different, but you know, I hope you guys are enjoying it. Do you know what I mean? It's a nice little journey you're on, you know, walking through the winter wonderland, as they say. We've been through it as well, you know, with Tuchel and Lampard. We were top of this table at this time of the season, then we had some issues.
What, that warning, yeah?
Yeah, I'm just saying, you know, it's not always what it seems. Do you know what I mean? So
I hear you, man, are trusting the process now.
Listen, we're trusting many P's, you know, processes and all these things. So yeah.
Potters, processes, projects, all of that.
Bro, I don't like to use them words because I've been literally mocking you guys.
You ripped us for years for using that word.
Yeah, we just used to be like instant success kings, walk in, take what we want, walk out. Now we have to do this whole time thing.
The Roman era is done, my guy. The Roman era is done.
All this patience nonsense. Another P, there you go. See what I mean?
Patience, process, Potter, all of that. But listen, there's been major change at Chelsea this season. In the summer, you spent quite a bit of money under Tuchel. A few games into the season, Tuchel gets sacked.
Yeah.
And Graham Potter comes in. It seems outside looking in, and probably from within, that this was the plan that Todd Bowley had originally coming in. It didn't seem like he favoured Tuchel, even though he gave him all that money to spend. Just talk to me. I'm not too sure what happened. Like I said, outside looking in. I know you was a big fan of Tuchel, and you know you trusted him to deliver long term, and you was kind of being patient with him. But essentially now he's gone, and you've got Graham Potter. How do you feel about all of it?
It's such a weird one because they came in. They obviously were going to back the manager because he's a fan favourite. He's won the Champions League, etc. Then the signings start to come in, and we're like, surely these must be Tuchel signings. He's ticking them off. These are the players that he wants. But then after he's sacked, it kind of comes out that maybe they're more club signings. There's a little bit of blurred lines, as there always was when we used to recruit with managers anyway. There was always blurred lines where they're club signings. You know, Roman loved the fancy striker, Fernando Torres, etc. So it started to become a little bit confusing, and then it came out that they weren't really getting along behind the scenes. So it wasn't really a sacking based on results, even though results were going, you know, poorly. It was more based on the fact that the working relationship was breaking down. They didn't really feel like going into a new era with a new culture and a new way of doing things that he would mirror that. And I guess they just wanted a more transparent, you know, open communication lines with the coach, and he was more just wanting to just, you know, focus on what he's doing and you focus on what you're doing, kind of thing. So it must have been frustrating for him when you look at it as well, because he's like, new owners are coming in, they maybe don't know the sport that well, they want Ronaldo, he's telling them no, we don't need him for these reasons. They're like, what's this, what do you mean pressing off the ball? What do you mean 4-4-3? You know what I mean? So it's like all of these little, you know, things back and forth, and it just didn't work. So, you know, they've hired their own man now in Potter, and I expect them to give him that patience and that, Lord Jesus, that gracing period, Lord Jesus, you know what I'm saying? All these P's, man.
That process.
So I expect him to give him time, because that's the guy that they have appointed. So the hiring firing model doesn't apply until I see Potter is packing his bags and walking out King's Road. But until that happens, you know, then I'm expecting them to give him time.
He was a big fan of Tuchel. Graham Potter kind of, you know, over the years, he's kind of been linked to a bigger move, maybe a chance with a big six club. What are your thoughts about Graham Potter now being the man in charge?
It's good. I think, you know, a lot of, you know, English pundits, they talk about, oh, we want to give English managers a chance. We don't really see any of them winning the Premier League ever, you know, since really Premier League was started. We haven't seen one. So they're at the top of the game now. You got him and Eddie Howe. He was linked with the England job as well, maybe after the World Cup. So I'm quite happy for him, because at the end of the day, last season he had his highest place finish for Brighton. He was playing good football, as we saw, unfortunately up close last weekend. So, you know, it's deserved, and you got to give these guys a chance to see if they can step up to the plate. So if he does, then obviously that's fantastic for English football. They've got English managers now at the top of the game. And you know, we've seen it before. David Moyes maybe couldn't handle it at Man United. We'll see how it goes for Potter. But so far, I think he's handled it quite well. He's quite a calm guy. You know, he doesn't get too excited, doesn't get too down with the moments as well. He seems pretty level-headed, pretty leveled out. So it'll be interesting. It's all about whether he can handle the big personalities when the drama comes, because it always does at Chelsea. Right now it's calm, there's no drama, but watch when Lukaku comes back in pre-season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it's not going well for him over there.
Yeah, he's injured, so you never know. He could be back. You never know.
He could be back.
That's why I'm wearing this shirt. Do you know what I'm saying? Just a little
make him feel at home. The Inter Chelsea rebrand. But listen, we spoke about Tuchel, we spoke spoken about Potter, I want to ask you about Mikel now. Listen, we do Big Six every week, twice a week. We've been doing it for 2 years. Mikel's been in for an awful lot of criticism over that time. More recently, a lot of praise. But what do you make of the turnaround and what Mikel's doing this season with the Arsenal squad?
I'm shocked, but I think my appreciation for what he's doing started probably with the Aubameyang situation when he was cutthroat and he said, "No, you're leaving," and you didn't even get a striker in, which I thought was an L at the time. Obviously, later on, now you get Jesus, and that's worked out really well. But the fact that he wasn't going to be dethroned or allow any player to kind of override his decisions, etc., he wanted to make it clear that he was the guy, and he'd had issues before with other players, Guendouzi, etc. But now that he's been given that time to get all of those guys out, you can see what he's trying to build. And I still, stand by what I said before. Back-to-back 8th place finishes was a massive underachievement, and at most other clubs he would have been sacked. But clearly they saw what he was trying to do that, nobody else could really see. A lot of people, I guess, couldn't see, most of us, especially rivals. And now it's coming to fruition. And now he's overachieving massively. If he keeps you guys in a title race, regardless of whether you win it or not, that's a massive overachievement. I keep saying it. The standard was go for top 4, get top 4. You missed out slightly last year, go and get top 4. If you get top 4, you're sorted. But to be in this position now, come Christmas, where you're literally, you're dancing at the top of the table. You're coming to Stamford Bridge, you're favourites. I'm quivering, I'm shaking.
Are we?
You are favourites. Unfortunately, I have to say it. You are favourites. If I was in the position of top of the league, like I said, I've been before, do you know what I mean? It hasn't always worked out, you know what I'm saying? So enjoy it.
Another warning.
But yeah, if I was top of the league and you guys were, in 5th and I'd say we're favourites. So you have to go with the team that's in form and say that they're the ones that you expect to do the business over the course of the season. So far, you've played big games. It's not like anybody can come and say, oh, they've only played small teams. No, you've played Liverpool, you've played Tottenham. So you are favourites, but I still, while I say that, I still expect us to stop you. If we lose at home, best believe I'm going to be AWOL. You won't see me on the streets. You won't see me on the channels. You won't see me on the platforms. I'll be gone. Like I'll be like Forrest Gump, ducking. I'll be gone, out of here.
Well, Arteta's had a good record against Chelsea since coming in. I think it's 3 wins out of 4. You lot won the other one.
Yeah,
since
your record as well. Yeah.
And you mentioned the Aubameyang thing. I think Guendouzi and Ozil were part of that same ruthless wrath of Arteta. It's kind of a get down or lay down approach. A movie back in the day, State Property, big up Beanie Siegel and whatnot. But there was a term in that, get down or lay down. And I think it's very relevant to what Arteta's brought in, the non-negotiables. You either get down with them or you're out of the club. And at the time, when you look at the experience he had, which was minimal, it was quite shocking that he came with that approach. It was hard to judge whether it was the right approach. For me, I think we needed discipline. I think under Wenger, it became a free-for-all at times. I think everyone was too laid back, too comfortable. So we needed someone to come in with discipline. On the back end now, like you said, we've started the season dancing at the top of the table. I think he was justified in the moves he's made. But that's not to say that he's still, not got further to go. You mentioned that you was top of the league at the start of last season and how that kind of went. So we can't take our eye off the ball and think the job is done, even with top 4. I think we need to make sure we continue this, make sure we continue riding that wave. And some of his recruitment as well. I remember when Ramsdale and Ben White came in, the summer before, and even I, forget opposition fans, forget you guys on the Big Six, I looked at it like, what's really going on here? Ben White 50 mil, Ramsdale 26 mil. It's not really making sense. Is that what we are now? But in the end, you look at them now, that's 2 fan favourites, especially Ben White this season, the way he's kind of taken that right back role. I don't think many saw him, being in that position and doing well, considering Tomiyasu's there. And we've got Zinchenko who's coming and kind of helped the team a lot, considering he's had injuries and he might be back for the Chelsea game. We'll see. But there's one, Jesus. He came in from Man City. Sterling came into you guys from Man City. Talk to me a bit about Sterling, because I know recently he's been under some criticism. Are you worried about Sterling, or do you think it's just a case of the club's in transition? It's a new manager, it's a new system, and so on.
It's Sterling and Cucurella, really. I mean, Man City target 60 million. They were saying that they were going to bring him in, and we kind of blew them out of the water. Maybe money-wise, they didn't want to go to the fee. I think for Sterling, I'm not worried. When you have a career mapped out the way he's had it, and he's proven what he's proven at the top level, shown what he could do for England in a pretty much systemless Southgate team at the Euros, and basically carry that team. for me, I have to believe that the quality of the player will override anything. Now, he is going through a bad patch of form for sure. You know, I've even said that he should maybe go on the bench, maybe take some time out, come back into the team. But the factors involved as well is that we're not really playing, in my opinion, suited to our attackers at all times. Against Manchester United, it was incredibly defensive. Yeah. And that's because we had maybe some injuries. You know, Kovacic comes on, 30 minutes, but he was never fit to start in the first place. It was like a 3-5-2 and Aubameyang and Sterling were just kind of left out to dry up top. So they were never really going to get the service, and they weren't really getting enough touches on the football. But then some games is down to Sterling. You know, he's playing, some people say left wing back, but when you look at the average position, even in the last game, he is basically a left winger. Same with Salzburg, he is basically a left winger or right winger. So he's got to do better in the final decision making and making sure that he's a polished player in those scenarios. And he's a top player. He's paid a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? He's on the top scale of our earners. But yeah, I think we all know that Sterling's got some faults in his game. You know, sometimes his finishing can be wayward. He can miss a big, massive chance at some point, etc. But I don't have any doubts that the guy will return to form. And I think once we kind of sort out maybe some of the fundamental issues in our team, like, you know, Aspie at right back, I think he's past it personally. That kind of limits us, forces us to kind of overcompensate on that side and try and, you know, lock that side up defensively when we should be maybe opening up the team a little bit more.
James is such a big
Reece James is a massive miss. DM as well. You know, we've had our injury issues there with Kova, Kante. If we had a six there, you know, you guys have got Partey, Rodri's there, Bruno Guimaraes at Newcastle. That position is huge. We've seen what happened with Fabinho at Liverpool. His drop off is literally the same as the team. If you don't have a real Casemiro at Man United, he's man the match.
The hub of the 11.
You know, man the match for Man United against us, Casemiro. If you don't have a true six there, that can lead to problems for the rest of the team as well. So I just feel like Chelsea are having to kind of compensate for fundamental key issues in certain positions, and it's making the rest of the team kind of crumble, which is kind of been the situation for the last couple of years. So I do expect once we address these things, him to fix up a little bit.
We've talked about the managers, we've talked about the stars we both signed from Manchester City, and Jesus and Sterling, but you mentioned one name, and it's one name, you know, we have in common. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. The question's got more to it, but will he start against Arsenal? And on top of that, what did you make of the BT Sport advert? Obviously, from your side as a Chelsea fan, it probably comes across very different than to our side as Arsenal fans.
Yeah, it was puzzling, I'm not going to lie. I didn't expect it. It's like, what is this, a film? You know,
I'm glad you said that.
What's going on?
Are you man actors or footballers? What are you man doing?
Can we focus on the job? Do you know what I mean? The task at hand is to take 3 points. Now, if that you know, if he gives an inspiring team talk pre-match and he riles everybody up and explains his hatred for Mikel Arteta and it gets everybody on board and we go out and win the game, then it will look like a masterstroke. But I want us to be very focused on winning the match. I don't want to hear any of like the outside factors, the past, and you know what happened way back when. This is not your ex. Do you know what I'm saying? You're with us now. This is a new relationship, yeah. And this relationship's all about W's. Do you know what I mean? Winning. And regardless of the form that you guys in, like I said earlier, we need to win this game. You know, I think we're 3 results in a row with no win. Obviously, the battering last week and then the 2 draws. We need to respond because we've got Newcastle away next. We've got Man City in the cup, and then it'll be Christmas. It'll be World Cup. So I don't want to see us dwindling in 7th, 8th come that World Cup. So yeah, all of this kind of, you know, promo and, you know, sing-song dance, for me, it's not what I want to see. And he is a stopgap for me. And it does feel a bit weird that he's at our club, I'm not going to lie. It's not like Giroud and Fabregas. It doesn't feel like that, if I'm being honest.
I know what you mean.
I know some Chelsea fans will, you know, they'll retweet the promo and the shirt with the, you know, the family and all the dancing. It's not really making sense, I'm not going to lie. And he will start. He will 100% start, and hopefully he bags. And if he scores, it will be, you know, money repaid. That's all I need from him.
So if you had a choice at Brozier and Oba to start that game, because I just done a match preview of James, and I said, in all honesty, if Oba starts, I think if you nullify Sterling and Havertz, which is, you know, the players that essentially that I believe you're going to play through to get it to Oba, then you nullify Oba. But maybe with a Brozier, he maybe adds something where he can cause more problems defensively. But I don't know, I might be mistaken outside looking in.
Brozier's a good player, but he's still rough around the edges, still things to improve. You know, you can't rely upon him or depend upon him. He's a wonderful young talent to have in the squad, and from what I've watched on him, Brentford and Wolves, the cameos he's made, I'm really impressed, and I think he could be a real all-round kind of striker. He gives me like Diego Costa vibes. But in this game, I would start Aubameyang just for the sheer fact that I know he's motivated to play this game.
Shoulder.
He's got the chip on the shoulder. He's clearly driven. He's now done the promo. He said it's not personal, but it is with Mikel. So listen, I'm trying to see that on the pitch. I want to see war. I want to see blood. Do you know what I'm saying? This is a London derby. None of this, handshakes, Klopp and Pep. This is what we do now. This is London. That's why I said the real rivalry on the Big Six is North London derby. And then as well, I feel like this one's a real one as well. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, we hate each other.
Exactly, for sure. 100%. That's why I got a blue mic. You know what I mean? Robbie didn't like it, but it is what it is. Like, you have to give me the blue mic.
You refused the red one.
I refused it. So yeah, for me, he's fully charged, and I want to see that. It's the storyline everybody wants to see. And best believe if he scores and he front flips, I want him doing the Adebayor to your fans. I want him on it. It will be a beautiful moment.
Alba, don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Money repaid, bro. That's all you got to do.
I'll get troops onto you ASAP if you do that, my guy. I'll get troops onto you ASAP because I know there's a line of contact there. But listen, the game is this Sunday, midday. Who, in your opinion, needs to have a big game for Chelsea in order for you guys to take the 3 points?
I think the game is won and lost in midfield. Like, we've spoken about the strikers, obviously. I think our defence, we've got some players coming back. Koulibaly, I think he'll be crucial. Cucurella's going to play. Chilwell's out. Mendy's going to play. Kepa's out. But I think at midfield, if we lose that midfield battle, with you guys, with Partey, with Odegaard, with Xhaka, then for me, I have worries. So I think it's critical that Cover. Everybody rates Cover. Yeah. They all know he's a quality player. He's been up and down because of injuries, but when he plays at his best, you can see the quality. He just stands out massively. And for me, because we haven't got Kante as well, he's going to be crucial in any transitions. I don't know who's going to dominate possession because both teams want the ball, but obviously you guys, you could easily have the ball. We see Man United come to Stamford Bridge and have the ball. But regardless of who has the ball more, I just need to see Kovacic have one of his best games. From a passing perspective, progressive passing in between the lines, I need him to take that responsibility. And if he does, then I think we're in with a shout. And build-up play, he's huge for us as well in the first phase. He's press resistant, all these things. So he's huge. So he's huge.
So on the flip side then, Arsenal, who do you have to nullify, do you think, to take the 3 points? Is it the midfield, or are you looking at maybe a Jesus, a Saka, or Martinelli? The one player that you need to keep quiet.
Saka's obviously coming back. Cucurella, I rate. He's going through some bad times, but he has to stand up to this. This is what you pay the big money for your left back. For me, it's the other side, Martinelli versus Azpilicueta. That's what I'm worried about. I need Azpilicueta to have one of the games of his life, because Martinelli, I saw the header, that he scored.
Yeah, very good header.
I saw what he did to Trent. Do you know what I'm saying? Still recovering. Listen, Azpilicueta is getting on in age. Do you know what I mean? He's getting closer and closer to the end, and I don't need Martinelli to do what happened to Ivanovic at Swansea with a certain.
You don't want Aspi retiring after the game. Looking
Gary
at
Neville
PK
at West
and saying,
Brom.
"Nah, I'm done."
Yeah, Gary Neville at West Brom. I don't need that. So I need him completely locked up, and hopefully Azpilicueta can pull out one more, because Martinelli is a problem. I think him making them runs in the box, like with that header, everybody will be focusing on Jesus, who's obviously not scoring a lot of goals right now. But if Martinelli is the one to put the dagger, that's not going to be very good.
Yeah, they've all taken their turn. I mean, Saka's had a few weeks, Jesus has had a few weeks, Martinelli's had a few weeks where they're getting goals, they're getting assists. So far this season, they've shared the spoils in a sense. But it's that time, Matisse, as the home team, prediction, starting with you.
I always back my team, man. I did it with Man United, even though mentally I knew it was going to be a draw. Everybody said it.
When I said 1-1, you said it. Yeah, he's probably right.
I know what's going to happen, but at the same time, I'm like, I got to back my team, and I do believe we can win, but it has got a draw written all over it, which is why I'm going 2-1 Chelsea.
I kind of agree with you. I feel like there's a draw written all over it, especially when you look at our recent form against you guys. I'm not one to take the recent form and say we should beat them, considering. I look at the recent form and say it's been too good to be true at times. Yeah. A hiccup is coming. So I think there is a draw written all over it, but I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal, because I think we've got the firepower to get it done.
I can't say that my prediction will be consistent when the points matter on the Big Six, by the way.
But. Yeah, I know. Likewise. So no one come and compare my prediction here, his prediction here, to the ones on Big Six.
This is the passion and desire prediction.
Trust me, there's no points on the table for this one. This is just straight from the heart. On Big Six, it tends to go more into the head and brain work and all of that. But listen, Matisse, tell them where they can find you. I'm going to tag your channel in the title, but tell them its socials and all of that.
Yeah, I mean, MAH on YouTube, 3 letters, slap them in, you'll find me. And then on Twitch as well, Matisse Armani. Same with all the Instagram and Twitch, Twitter and whatnot. But yeah, listen, Twitch and YouTube are the main platforms. And yeah, bro, absolute pleasure to be on. And yeah, hopefully, one of us is going to take an L, hopefully. Because I don't want to see a draw, man. I need carnage on the Big Six on Monday, regardless.
Yeah, but then we have Tottenham Liverpool as well. So
Exactly.
carnage is happening. Carnage is coming for sure. Matisse, thank you. Actually, before I'm going to ask you, what's MAH? Is it your initials?
Yeah, so it's my initials. So it's Matisse, Armani, and then I've released the Hoffa out there for the people recently on the FIFA career mode. I've been taking L's and they've clocked it now. So yeah.
I see that. Listen, make sure you go support Matisse as always, people. Channel link in the title, rest of the socials in the description below. Just click it, subscribe, follow, show some love. My Big Six brother, tune into Big Six tonight. It might be last night, depending on when this comes out, but make sure you're there Monday as well for the review of Game Week 15. Matisse, love for coming on, my guy.
Big up, bro.
Come
Appreciate
on, people. Love for the love out there as well. Hit the like button and give us your thoughts in the comment section below. Lineups, key battles, and more importantly, predictions. People, we are out. Love.
Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.